Okay, so let's get going with part 2 of this Gmail series. And the title of this part is One Touch Organization. And this is just kind of a simple organization structure for your email once you've decided what you want to do with each email. That is assuming that you don't reply to it immediately. The outcomes for this part will be to help you create and use labels, if you don't already, using the starring in Gmail. And we'll take a look at multiple starring and then archiving and snoozing. So let's jump right into it. So now that you are moving emails more efficiently, that you're moving through your emails more efficiently also, what are you going to do with them? In this part 2, I will go over 2 kind of quick organizing options. Both of them can be used on their own. They can be used in combination, or as you'll see, if you stick with parts 3 and 4, they can be a part of a larger kind of email system approach that I am outlining in this 4-part series. So both of them will come in handy if you decide to follow through on that. So let's get started. And I'm just going to show you really quickly what my inbox view over here looks like. So you see I have inbox, I have starred, I can see snoozed, sent, drafts, and then I have the option for more. But then down here under labels, I have them numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 different labels that I leverage and use. And I've cleared most of these out to get ready for a new school year. But as an example, I haven't cleared the College Board and advanced placement out, as you know, those are kind of an ongoing thing for me. That's kind of an ongoing label. But if I went to teacher staff questions, you'll see there's none in there. Those have been cleared out, waiting for stuff that comes in over the summer. Summer curriculum is another good one. There's a lot in there because summer curriculum is ongoing. But if I'm in my inbox and I want to label this email, so let's just jump to let's say this Corwin, I have a label that I have called professional learning organizations. So if you remember, if I hit the L, it will give me the option to label. And right here, my number 4 is professional learning organizations. So I can just label it like that, and it'll add that label. And while I'm looking at it, I can also remove that label if I don't want that there. Another option I have is to press V, which is going to give me the same options, but instead of just labeling it, it's going to label it and kick it out of my inbox. And so now if I came over here to professional learning organizations, you know, that Corwin, it's basically already been archived for me. But let's take a look at how you set up these labels. So if you go into settings and see all settings, and you go to labels, excuse me, what you're going to see here in the settings, you will see all of the shortcuts or the items that you can view from this menu. And all of these are available. You can just click on either show or hide, right? So inboxes, you don't have the choice there. But starred, if I wanted to, I could hide that. Snoozed, I could hide that. For example, I do hide important. I don't use that. Scheduled, I have it clicked to only show if unread. Drafts, I have shown. All mail, I have hidden. Spam, I have hidden. Trash, I have hidden. I think I have all of these different categories hidden. But then when you come down here, these are labels that I've created. So if you think of, you know, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, maybe depending on your use of kind of frequent categories of emails that you receive, creating labels for those is a good idea. So for me, I have, you know, teacher/staff questions and requests. I have building admin team emails. I have parent and families, professional learning organizations, stuff from the district, the College Board advanced placement, and then I have a summer curriculum one that I have ongoing. And you'll see that how I name them. So if I were to create a new label, if I were to create a new one, for me, that would be number 8. And it might be Gmail series questions / comments. And I create that label, and it's going to slide it in right here, right? The reason I number them is so that they stay in the order that I want them to be in when I peek over here. And so if I were to push this out and ask you to email me with questions that you might have, I could label them with this label, and that's where they would either stay in my inbox with that label, or if I move them there, that's where they would be. So labels is one handy way of organizing emails. And so once you create all of your different labels, at the bottom of this, you don't even have to hit save. It's just right there. Okay. So if I go to my inbox now, and let's just say that this MPC, let's say that this was an email from one of you commenting on this series, I could go V, and I'm just going to quickly press 8 because I remember that is the 8th label that I created. I hit enter, and it's there. It's moved, and it's in there. I could leave it in I could have left it in my inbox. So let's just say this email I'm gonna leave in the inbox, but I'm just gonna label. I hit the L, hit the number 8. It stays in my inbox, but now it has that label. All right, so that's one way of organization. And again, I come back here, I jump into here, and all of those labels are there. So like professional learning, all the same rules apply. I can use J and K to move through them. I can delete from here with my keyboard shortcuts. Everything is the same. Another handy way to organize emails is to use starring. And so emails that I would star would appear here. If I clicked on starred, you'll see all the emails that I have starred. And this is real easy. You can, with your mouse, you can just click on this star right here, but I don't want you to do that because you can just hit the S and it will star it, right? And you'll see that I have a few different star options, but I just keep on pressing S to scroll through those. So let me show you where that's at. I think all of you by default have one starring option with that yellow star. But if you go into settings and in general, if you scroll down, you'll see that here in the stars, you can have several in use. And the order that they appear in use is the order that they will scroll through as you press S in the inbox. And I can add another one if I wanted to, or I can just put it back down here and not use it. You may not need more than one star if you're going to just use this to collect important emails. But what you will see when we get to part 3 is that the multiple stars is a part of the overall organization process and system that I am kind of unfolding here one part at a time. A couple of things to note here. When I star an email, it just stays in the inbox. If I star an archive, it is now in that starred. Or I can do this, right? Let me come down to say this Ed Week one. If I star it, right, and then snooze it for tomorrow, I can look at it today because it's right here in that starred, but it's also snoozed. It's going to come back to me, and I forget what I set it for, but it's going to come back to me in an hour. If you aren't going to use the system ultimately that I suggest here with the multiple starred, and I'll show you what that looks like in part 3. And you're going to use starring, I do suggest that you use starring in combination with snoozing so that that email does pop back into your inbox at some point. Otherwise, I think it can get lost if you don't leave it in your inbox starred. I think that that's enough for this part. So just to review, we have organization options for emails that we're interacting with in our inbox. So here, I'll just use this one as an example. I can label this by pressing L and labeling it whatever, or putting it, giving it one of the appropriate labels. So this one, I'll say, let's say this is building admin team, and you'll see that it's labeled there, right? I can always remove the label right here in the email, or I can actually move it to that label by pressing V, building admin team. Now it disappears from my inbox, essentially has been archived for me, but it's still here in this label. Okay. Another option that we have is to star emails. And so if I press the S, it will star it. And that's going to just stay in the inbox. I'll just see that it's denoted with the star. And also, if I went to just the starred emails, we'll see that it's there. I can use that star in conjunction with snoozing. So maybe I don't need to look at this till next week, but I know it's important. And if I have time, I might come back to it later. So it's going to for sure come back next week, but I can always come back here in the starred emails and it will be there. Okay. The last thing I would point out is this. If you do interact with your email on your phone and you star it, it will give it a yellow star. It will appear in this inbox, this starred box. So that is something that you could also leverage from a phone if you happen to use your school Gmail on your phone. Okay, I think that is good for this video, for this part. I will come back in part 3 and start to put some of these pieces together. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.